Hey, welcome. If you're new, thanks for tuning in. And if you've been watching the series, thanks also for tuning in. And what we're doing here is I've given myself a challenge of building an entrance under 1K of pieces, and I want it to be semi-realistic, and I want it to have kind of a neutral design to it. In other words, no theming to it. I don't want it to look like you walk up and it looks like this is a pirate theme entrance, or this is a sci-fi themed entrance. I just want it to be a kind of a very neutral looking entrance. I know I've got some bright reds and some blues right now. I may tone that down. I may not. We'll see. We'll see what happens during the series. Things change. Especially with this game, I like to make some decisions, and then next thing you know, I'll turn around and completely change those decisions and do something completely different. So you never know what you may find whenever I'm building something. You could watch one episode one day and then come in a couple days later and that whole area has been revamped or redone because it just didn't fit right with what I was liking. And the reason I'm making this entrance as a small blueprint is for console players and people that don't have high-end PCs. I want something that'll look good, that they can download from the blueprint shop. It's not going to take up a lot of space, but yet it still is going to get across what they want to do. I mean, when this thing's done, people can go in and change the colors, add to it, whatever. I mean, it's only going to be hopefully under 1K pieces. I haven't checked any of the piece count on it yet. I'm kind of waiting until it's done, and we'll see what the count is on it and see if I hit my mark or not. And we'll see how it goes from there. Hopefully this won't be too long of a series. I'm hoping it's going to be done in maybe 4 or 5 episodes. I know they're kind of long episodes, but I like to keep the mistakes in there and show that, we all make goof ups. This game has like its own little quirks, that kind of thing. I don't want to fantasize anything by showing that, I went through here and just, made the exact measurements for everything and made everything just so perfect that it doesn't seem right. So I leave the mistakes in there, and that's why the videos are a little bit longer, just to show that we are human. So in this episode, I'm going to focus a little bit more on some security features and a little detail for a few other things. Probably you can see here I've been working on what is going to be a baggage check area. Like when you go into a theme park, they make you do your little baggage check, or if you're going on a flight, they have the TSA, those kind of things. They scan the bags and make sure there's nothing bad or illegal, all that kind of good stuff inside of it. So that is what this is going to be. It's going to be a little bag check scan area that is right before the main gates. And I'm just going to add a little details to it, to make it look like something that you would see. It doesn't need to be too intrusive, but still these things are like gigantic x-ray machines. So we're going to make them a little big and hopefully add a few more things to it when it's done. It's time we start putting something tall in this thing to make it look like a real entrance. So we're going to put these pillars up here. I made these out of metal pillars. We're going to make them just gigantic, and I like the little angles that they have on there. There's a little 45 angles, so I figured I can make just kind of a little stack here with them, and that would look really neat. And I'm going to go ahead and put like maybe 4 of these out. I'm going to put some in the front too. Maybe make a water feature out of those too, I'm thinking. But for the time being, I'm just going to go ahead and put those down into the ground. And I'll probably make some other bigger ones and put them in the back too, just to give it some depth whenever it's coming in. But I'll save that for a little bit later. Another thing that I do in this game is I move around a lot. I will start in one area and start playing with something, and then I'm look over here and I'm like, oh, I need to work on this. I need to do that. That's why you'll see, like, you know, little bitty elements here and there. I've got like a fountain that is semi-done, and by the way, I do not like my fountain. That is going to be addressed later on. It has already been addressed. Just I haven't done the voiceover and finished the video for it, but yeah, this fountain that is in the middle is not going to be looking like it does right now. That was just kind of there for reference points, so I can know that this is, I'm going to have water here, I'm going to have a fountain, I'm going to have something here about this size, so I could maneuver other things around it. You also see me placing some trees and bushes, little things like that in between areas, just because I gotta have a little bit of greenery and a little bit of depth in there while I'm doing things, or it feels too dull to me. So it may or may not be things that I keep, but I go ahead and put them in there, and most of the time I will keep most of that greenery type stuff and just kind of layer it on. And you'll see later on in the later videos how I just will stack those kind of greenery things to make it look a little more depth and realistic. And then you'll see me kind of messing around with some greenery here, seeing some shrubbery, seeing where I can put some things in. Like I said, I've got to have a little depth just to kind of give me an idea of what's happening. I'll probably dig through some trees here in a second. I didn't like the ones that I thought I would like, so I like going through there. I'm like, oh, this round one might be neat. And then I'm like looking at my building, and the building's got a lot of, you know, sharp angles and you know, these kind of things, and the round just didn't fit. So I just went ahead and found some kind of like tall, skinny trees, and I was like, that is it. That's what was needed there. So we went ahead and put those in, and man, it looked a lot better. So I went ahead and put those in. I think it looks really good there. I'll probably leave those kind of trees in there. I may also fluff it out a bit. Then I'm thinking, you know, I need some more just basic stuff to put out here. A lot of flower beds. Every time you go into an entrance to a theme park, there's flower beds. There's a lot of, you know, just things. So I went ahead and made some basic flower beds to put out here that will fill in later on. And then we'll move on to something that I guess it's like to call clutter detail, which I'll take an area and I will just add a lot of just stupid detail to it. I don't know a better way to say it, but this one's going to be for the ticket booth, which are actually balloon stands that I've set up inside of there, so the NPCs will walk up to it, buy a balloon, but it'll simulate them buying a ticket, basically, and then they'll go into the park. So I like to do little things like that just to kind of make things look like they're being used by the NPCs, even though it's not a thing. I mean, we don't have ticket booths for the park, you know. I guess the people buy them online or something. They just magically appear, but we don't have like an actual ticket booth for there. So we build one, and that's what I did. I built a small one out here. Also built a little VIP area for guest relations, that kind of stuff. Some, you know, the high-end guests, the VIPs could go there and, you know, get their little passes, get all the little goodies and stuff that they need. And then for just the basic ticket boost, I thought it'd be nice just, clutter it up with some, basic stuff. So I'm going to dig through the menus here like I do. I have a basic set of basic things that I use a lot of that is off to the side. You'll see that off that left-hand side. They'll go and grab things once in a while, this and that. I use those a lot. Those are some of my major items that I use, major pieces that I use for almost every build. I mean, of course, I got the alphabet up there, just things, so I don't have to dig through the menus and always look for them. Every time I build a park or I build a project, I have a completely blank canvas that I have set up that I actually called blank, and it has those pieces already into it. I load it up and I start to build, so therefore I don't have to worry about it. I also have saved it as a blueprint in case I do need to drop it into a park later on and work off it that way. But for the most part, I start with a blank canvas, put those that blueprints that are already in there, those not blueprints, but those basic pieces that I already have set up, and then I just kind of go to town. And here I'm still digging through the menus, of course, looking for some little items that I can clutter up these little ticket booth offices with. Maybe some little thing, coffee mugs, clipboards, posters on the wall. Just something to kind of make it look like it's something more than just a empty room with a person standing in there. I like to give it a little bit, like I said, I like to give things a little bit of semi-reality. I don't like to do uber realistic. I think that gets a little too hard, especially with this game. The color saturations on it is hard. I've seen some amazing work done, but I'm comfortable making stuff that I consider semi-realistic and something that you as a player yourself can go into first-person mode, walk through, and enjoy. I really like to make those kind of things, and I have some things coming up here in the series in this channel for some walkthroughs of parks, some little things that I've made, and extra goodies. So stay tuned for that. We will be doing some walkthroughs, some things from a first-person perspective to kind of get a different view of things besides just the same old. Here's a roller coaster point of view. Here's a time-lapse video. Not that we're not gonna, I still plan on doing some of those, but it's not going to be the main focus of the channel. I want to have a lot of different things in there, and if people out there have something that they want me to check out, like a blueprint or a park or something, I'd be more than glad to check it out, give you my thoughts, whatever. I'm down for that. Just a disclaimer though that like I said before, I am on a PlayStation console, so if you send me some kind of mega park or something like that, there's no way I'm going to be able to look at it and enjoy it. Another thing I want to say about being on a console and having limitations kind of makes you a better designer and a better creator in a sense. I mean, knowing that you do have limitations that you have to stick to. I know that if I go over a certain, particle limit and so many piece limit, that I'm going to get a frame rate drop and my park's not going to act well. So I work within those boundaries. Those boundaries don't seem to bother me too much. I've already made a couple of parks that are quite detailed and have plenty of rides, plenty of things to do, lots of it. The area is completely full. So it's about utilizing the pieces properly, and I want to, encourage other console players to, you can don't let other PC players put you down and make you think that you can't build something nice on console too. It can happen. I have a few blueprints here that I'm going to show later on that I built on a console that most people wouldn't believe that was built on a console, but it can happen. It's the same game. We just have limitations on size. We can't make super mega parks, and to be honest, a lot of those people that make those super mega parks are just kind of making them for themselves. They make it to show them off on social media or something here and there, but to actually have their friends download, I mean, you better hope they have the same specs that you have in order to enjoy it, you better hope they have, a good PC in order to run that mega park without having frame rate drop and issues. So I do this so no matter what you could probably run this game on a potato if you got a potato computer, and my uploads will work for you. If it works for my console, it'll work for your park, regardless if you're on console or PC. And sorry about that little rant right there. It wasn't meant to be a rant. It was just meant to be, an encouragement for console players and other players to, it's okay to build small. It's okay to do things like this and just have fun. That's the whole point of the game, is to have fun and enjoy yourself. So if you're not having fun, then try a different approach, I guess. I don't know. The whole point is just to have fun. And if you're not having fun, then why are you doing this? And of course, here I am playing with this stupid fountain again. Hopefully by the next episode or so, you'll see the way this fountain has changed. Like I said, I love these rocks here. I've used these rocks countless times. I have a roller coaster that I made, a small junior roller coaster called Spellbound Junior, and I use those rocks a lot, almost for the entire build, and just fell in love with them. And I know a lot of people like to use those for fillers for different things, and I'm going to use them. I didn't like the way that I put them off to the side here, but I'm just like, that wasn't my focus at the moment, was it not that area there. I just wanted some water down, some little things in the way, so I know that's what it is. We'll move on to that later on. It will not be as ugly, because those rocks are very ugly. And I figured I needed a little sign that says tickets. Of course, you got to have the sign for the people who can't figure things out and read the signs that are on the ground. We got to have like a big sign up front that says, "Hey, this is where you get your ticket." So we went ahead and made a basic ticket sign here that we'll put up here, and we'll eventually light up all this kind of stuff, make things look nice at night. But just a kind of a basic setup. Like I said, I move around a lot. Like I said, you see me, I was center playing around with the interior for the ticket booth for a while and put up a lot of goodies, so it's not just a basic looking booth when you walk up to it. But I do move around a lot. I'll do a little bit of floral work here. I'll go at night and put in some lights. So I'll go over here and work on this fence. I'm not saying I have a problem, but I have a problem sticking on a project. Multitasking is probably a better way to say it. I like to multitask. I'll do things, a lot of things at a time. And so when you see me digging through these menus, I'll be grabbing like a lot of different things. I've got the clock tower or clock piece back there. Will I use it or won't I? I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe doing something with it. I don't know. But I went ahead and pulled it out anyway. Because it's something I'm thinking about. Oh, that's an idea of a little something I'm doing here coming up. Same thing with all these little pieces. You know, I'll dig through there and be like, oh, do I want to use it? Do I not? Well, we'll see. No theme park would be secure without good security, and we need cameras everywhere because these little punks will come in and destroy their benches or knock over trash cans, you know. So we're going to put a bunch of security cameras out. And then finally going through a couple of these empty pieces here that I have used and I'm still planning on using, and getting rid of some of the ones that I'm not using at the time. And then I put up some basic fences. We'll probably work on this a little bit more later on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Little Daisy girl's barking in the background. Oh, she probably sees a squirrel outside. Oh. But we'll work on some fencing here, and we'll put some things around it to give it a little bit more security around the exterior as well. Just some kind of basic stuff. Like I said, semi-realistic, but not to the point where someone's going to look at it and I'm not trying to recreate anything. I'm just kind of using my imagination, so to say, as I go along, build it as I go. Sometimes I kind of have a basic idea, but I don't have set plans. I don't plan anything out. I just kind of jump in the game to relax and see where it goes a lot of times. Grabbing some just basic trees and putting them out because I feel like I gotta have something in the back to show some height and depth to realism. Kind of helps with the creative process whenever I just kind of do little walkthroughs here and there, like, oh, this would be nice here, this would be nice there. And we're getting to the end of our video. Thank you guys for tuning in and taking this little journey on Planet Coaster with me. Hopefully this series won't last too long, at least for this entrance. We may build something outside the entrance. We may build a whole park off of this. Who knows? Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.